Hello children, welcome back to the English lesson Whatever We Do, written by Clifford Martis. In the last class you learned how we can try to perform better in our words and actions, how we can thank others, how we can amend if we are late, how doctors can treat patients in a better way, etc. Now let us see 8th paragraph. On a certain occasion, I hailed an auto rickshaw and said, City Hospital. The auto man did not look at me but simply downed the meter. Well, it was a clear indication that he was willing to take me to my destination, but wouldn't it have been much better if he had said, Yes, sir, please get in, or simply said, Come? The least he could have done was to make a gesture with his face or hand. I did mention the point to him, and to my good luck, he agreed with me. On another occasion, I called an auto and said, Central Market. He said, Sorry, sir, it's time for me to hand over the auto. And so saying, he hailed another auto and asked, Guru Central Market? That man agreed and I got in. This shows that we can say no also in the most pleasant way. The author discusses the behavior of Ottoman and gives his own experience. Many times, Ottoman agrees to take us to the particular place only by downing the meter without talking a single word or showing a gesture. They may say at least, Yes, sir, please come in, or simply come. Narrator gives an example for the polite behavior of Ottoman. Once he called. He said, Central Market. The Ottoman said, Sorry, sir, it's time for me to hand over the auto. And so saying, he hailed another auto and asked, Guru, Central Market? That man agreed and narrator got in. This shows that we can say no also in the most pleasant way. Now come to the 9th paragraph. Even a very ordinary thing like giving alms to a beggar can be done in a better way. Here, take this. We can say nicely and with some feeling. What do most people do? They refuse to look at the beggar. If he persists, they indicate that he should go ahead. Some say, Munde hogappa, go further, or some such thing. Some don't say anything but try to shun the beggar by their body language. And finally, when the giving becomes inevitable, they give grudgingly. If we decide to give alms, should we not do so gracefully? In Mumbai, they have a nice way of saying Maaf karo, please excuse. It's a nice way of saying sorry, I am not able to give. The author says we can show some sort of courtesy and sympathy to beggars. Here, take this. We can say nicely and with some feelings, but most people refuse to give alms by saying, Go further. Some people give alms grudgingly. The author quote an example of showing polite behavior to beggars. In Mumbai, people have a nice way of saying Maaf karo, please excuse. It's a nice way of saying sorry, I am not able to give. 10th paragraph. We have a number of notices, instructions and orders like no parking, no smoking, no admission, visitors' cars not allowed, and so on and so forth. Don't these terms sound rather rough? True, people are trying to be brief because brevity is a genuine need in such public notices. But we have seen that, at least in the case of smoking, people have made some innovation. Nowadays, they write, Thank you for not smoking. The author says notices, instructions, and orders like no parking, no smoking, no admission is polite, novel way of giving instructions. 11th paragraph. Can't we try to use better terms in other cases also? I am not suggesting that in every case we should say thank you for. We can think of innovative methods to make our orders, instructions, and notices sound more polite, more polished. In South India, some restaurants are famous for the tasty fare they offer. Naturally, therefore, they have big rush and it's a problem for the management. In one such restaurant, I saw a board. Don't sit here for a long time. How odd. Can they not say the same thing in better words? Luckily, I saw in another place a board. Please make room for waiting customers. In yet another place, I saw a notice which read, kindly make room for waiting friends. In 11th paragraph, the author says, we can think of innovative methods to make our orders, instruction and notices sound more polite, more polished. In a restaurant, the author saw a board, don't sit here for a long time. He feels that it's not polite. Luckily, he saw in another place a board, please make room for waiting customers. In yet another place, he saw a notice, kindly make room for waiting friends. The author feels these notices are more polite. Now come to the 12th paragraph. It's our practice to be brief while sending telegrams. Here, again, the reason is brevity. We want to save words in order to cut costs. So, if someone wants to request his brother to receive him at the station, he might send a telegram somewhat like this. Reaching Mumbai Thursday. Shatabdi. Meet station. Now, just for the sake of one single word, the telegram has become totally devoid of any courtesy. What could be the additional cost of adding please? Nowadays, the telegram has been relegated to the background due to the coming of the telephone and the internet. But how we solve the issue of courtesy? Don't we see, or should I say here, people ask, who is this? Instead of saying, may I know who is calling, please? Here the narrator says, it's our practice to be brief while sending telegrams because of brevity to cut costs. We neglect the politeness, courtesy while sending telegrams. We can add one polite word, please, in our telegram. Nowadays, telegram lost its importance because of advancement of telephone and internet. But courtesy problem is not solved. People ask, who is this? Instead of, may I know who is calling, please? In this way, narrator discussed many polite ways of receiving telephone or mobile call. In a certain book on communication, I found a very interesting method of asking who is calling. If you call Mr. Patel in his office, his secretary will receive the call and before connecting to Mr. Patel, she would want to know who the caller is so that she can inform the same to Mr. Patel. What does the secretary say? She does not say, who is this? Or even, may I know who is calling, please? She says, can I tell Mr. Patel who is calling, please? The idea is this. You want to talk to Mr. Patel. I do not wish to know who you are, but I must tell Mr. Patel who is calling him. Therefore, I am requesting you to tell me who you are. Come to the 13th paragraph. Consider how we respond when someone says thank you to us. In the olden days, people used to say don't mention it. Later, people started using the phrase it's alright. Nowadays, people say you are welcome or simply welcome. The author says it's polite and better to say you are welcome in responding when someone says thank you to us. Come to the 14th paragraph. One method of improving our communication with others is to put you before I as far as possible. Consider some words like union, united, building, guiding, trusting, communication, and so on. In these words, the letter U comes before the letter I. This indicates to us that we should try to put you, that's the other person, before I. If I wish to thank someone for the nice party, I can say, your party was so enjoyable. I thank you. Another instance, your letter made me very happy. The author says, one method of improving our communication with others is to put you before I as far as possible. If we wish to thank some for the nice party, we can say, your party was so enjoyable, I thank you. Your letter made me very happy is another example given by the author using you before I. Come to the last paragraph, 15th paragraph. It may be noted that there is no limit to the improvement we can make in our action or speech, nor can we say that a particular action or form of speech is the best. There is no formula. What is best may depend on the occasion, and it may be possible to continuously make improvement. The whole idea is to be aware of the need and importance of doing and saying things better and better. In the last paragraph, the author says that it may be noted that there is no limit to the improvement that we can make in our action or speech. The whole idea is to be aware of the need and importance of doing and saying things better and better. So children, let us try to do the work better and speak the polite words. Let's try to improve our work and words constantly. Thank you.